started from the bottom. No computer.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am doing another Q&A for you guys. Now, I think this is my 7th or so Q&A here on my channel. I try to do these every year for you guys, just in case you're new to my channel and you want to learn a little bit more about me, or if you have been following me for a while and you just kind of want a little insight to my personal life. So yeah, I find these videos a lot of fun. So I went over to my Instagram as well as my Facebook page, told you guys to leave me any of your questions, and I said no topic or no question was off limits. So yeah, that's basically it. I have my phone right here. I have all my questions saved here. So we'll just go ahead and jump right on into it. If by some chance you left me a question and I did not answer it, then most likely it's already been answered in one of my previous Q&As, so I'll make sure to link all of those Q&As down in the description box so you can go ahead and check those out. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right on into it. So if you would like to hear all of my answers to your guys' questions, then just keep on watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the first one, and I'm just going to answer these in no particular order. And the first question, I actually got a few questions like this, and you guys wanted to know about my first time. Very juicy. I don't know why you guys want to know about my first time. And I got a few other questions that were very similar but more dealing with my husband, kind of asking about our first time, if he was my first. So yes, if you guys didn't know, my husband Luke, we have been together for almost 12 years now. We started dating when we were 15 years old, and yes, he was my first, I was his first, my one and only. So yeah, we started dating when we were 15, and our first time was when we were both 16. And as far as like a story time, I mean, I feel like there's really nothing to tell. I mean, it sure wasn't like the movies, like this like romantic night with like rose petals and, you know, doing it by candlelight. Like, no, I don't think anyone's first time is like that. If it is, I feel like that's a very like unicorn situation. But yeah, we were 16. It was at his house in his bedroom. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. It was great, but like nothing out of the ordinary. His family watches my videos, so I feel really awkward right now. Next question. What is one state you would like to travel to? I feel like I've probably answered some of these questions before, but I can never remember if it was like country or state. So I decided to just keep this question in here. I feel like I would love to go to Hawaii, like just to kind of experience like, I guess more of like a tropical type vacation without leaving the country. Because I think I've talked about this before, like I have just major anxiety about going to other countries, or basically even any states. Like I'm just not a big traveler just because I have so much anxiety about not being able to make it back home. It's a very strange fear. I don't know where the fear came from, but I've just always had that fear. So like I'm not a huge traveler. But yeah, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii and experience it. Next question is, what are your favorite pictures of you in your dress on the wedding day? Yeah, I got a couple different questions like this actually, kind of asking what are my favorite pictures in general, and then what are my favorite pictures actually in my wedding dress. I feel like I have so many favorite pictures, so I'll probably just go ahead and just throw some up on the screen right here. Or in this video so you guys can see just some of my few favorites. Next question, one thing you wish you could have at your wedding but the cost was too much for it. It wasn't only just the cost, but it was also something that just wasn't obtainable, like where our venue was and things like that. But one of the things I looked into and I really wanted was like a horse-drawn carriage, because if you guys know me, I'm a huge Disney fan, and for our second wedding, a little bit for our quarantine wedding, but I saved a majority of the theme for our redo wedding. Our wedding was Cinderella themed, and so to kind of go along with the Disney Cinderella theme, I really wanted us to, you know, either get some pictures or video with like a horse-drawn carriage, or just like go on a ride. Originally my plan was I really wanted like the carriage to like bring me to our venue, and that was kind of like my grand entrance. I did actually find a company and reached out to them to see if this was something that was possible. It really wasn't possible just because of where our venue was. It was kind of in like a downtown city area. It was very expensive, but also a huge other reason that even if it was obtainable, I probably wouldn't have went with this company anyways, is because they were just super rude. I don't even remember like the company name. I just like randomly found them online, and their company is based in downtown Grand Rapids, and they take you on rides in downtown Grand Rapids. And our venue, it was like in the Grand Rapids area, but it was like not in like the heart of downtown. So when I did reach out to them, they said that was something like where the venue was, that wasn't where they did the rides or something like that. So I mean, maybe what they were saying was true, that it truly wasn't obtainable, but I just feel like the way they communicated with me, they were just very rude. And they basically said that they couldn't do it because of like the streets and how busy it was. And I'm just like, your whole company is based off of doing these carriage rides in downtown, like the heart of downtown. And we're not even in the heart of downtown. So right there, that doesn't make any sense to me, that you can't do it because of the busy streets, but you offer it in one of the busiest areas in downtown Grand Rapids. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it just didn't make any sense, and they were just very rude. They just like thought it was just kind of stupid that I even was asking for pricing and if it was something they could do. And they kind of came off of like a very like snippy, rich attitude. They basically told me like, well, it would be this much anyway, so it's just very expensive. So like kind of just giving me that attitude of like, you can't afford it anyways type of thing. So in a perfect world, that would have been something I would have loved to had for our wedding. It was something I looked into, but it just wasn't going to happen. And even if it was going to happen, I thought the company was very rude, and I wouldn't have went with them anyways. Next question, how did you save for a house? By the way, love watching your videos. Thank you so much. I feel like I don't really have like a ton of like tips and tricks as far as saving for our house. Really, the only thing we did is just save our money. Like, I feel like that sounds like kind of like duh, but like that's pretty much all we did. I mean, I feel like kind of the process of like saving for our house, I feel like we put more money in our savings than we usually did compared to like any other like regular month. I feel like we kind of slowed down a little bit as far as eating out. I feel like we still ate out, but maybe we just slowed down just a little bit. So that was a little bit of extra money we were able to just throw into our savings. Yeah, and of course at the time I was making good money. I mean, I'm still making good money, but I was making even more at the time at the job that I was at. So for me personally, it was a lot easier to throw a ton of money into my savings each paycheck. So that made it very easy to kind of rack up our savings. Yeah, that's basically it. I apologize, I don't have this like huge like secret to help you, you know, save money for a house fast. But yeah, that's basically all we did. And as far as buying a house and looking for houses, I think we did it in a very like smart and cheap way. The loan that we got approved for was like a lot more money than like what we were considering our budget, if that makes any sense. So even though we got approved for such a large loan, we decided we didn't want to look for houses in that price range. We decided we wanted to look for houses under that price range, so that would make it easier for us to, you know, buy that house, put down the down payment, make our house payments and things like that. So that's kind of something else that you could do. And here was another question that got a ton of you asking. I know I've answered it before, but I feel like I get this so often, and every time like I announce I'm going to be doing a Q&A, I feel like a majority of the questions are dealing with this, and that is of course babies. Now, if you have been following my vlogs, keeping up to date with those, you would have known I recently got off birth control late in the year 2021. So I've been off of it for a few months. I did not get off birth control to get pregnant. Me and Luke are not trying. We're still kind of on the fence if we even want kids. So no, I am off birth control, but we are not trying. We're not planning on trying. I kind of just got off of it for health reasons, basically. Not pregnant, not planning on becoming pregnant anytime soon. As far as in the future, maybe, but definitely not planning on it. The next question, kind of dealing with kids, is do you want to raise your kids in Michigan or do you want to move to a different state? Honestly, I feel like even if we have kids or if we don't, I don't really ever see us moving out of Michigan. Just because this is our home, and I know for me especially, like I am such a homebody, like I am just the most like comfortable and at ease when I'm at home, and I feel like that's not just for our physical home, but I feel like it's even for our state. So I feel like if we were to move to a different state, I just wouldn't feel as comfortable. I mean, maybe if I got used to it after a few months or a year or something, maybe I would eventually get comfortable with it, but yeah, I mean, there really isn't any reason for us to move. Like, all of our family is here, and this is where me and Luke were both born and raised. So yeah, I don't ever see us leaving Michigan. And if we have kids, we'll just plan on raising them here as well. The next question, kind of dealing with the house buying process, is how many houses did you and Luke look at before you knew it was your house? So, my gosh, I have the worst memory. I can't remember the number of houses. I want to say maybe around like 6, 7 houses. So really kind of where like the housing market was at, we got super lucky. We didn't have to look at as many houses before we found this house that we're now living in, and I feel like we weren't really looking for a house that long either when we found this one and were able to buy it. We did put a couple other offers on a couple other houses, which unfortunately we did not get just because of how competitive everything was, and everyone was just bidding like crazy amounts over asking price, and yeah, we ended up losing out on those other houses because we just weren't willing to spend, you know, $40,000 or $50,000 more. But yeah, so yeah, I feel like it was definitely less than 10 houses we looked at before we found this one, and I feel like we were pretty much on the same page that right when we saw this house, we knew like this was the one. So yeah, I feel like we got super lucky with like the whole process. The next question was, what was Luke's reaction of seeing you in your wedding dress? I think this is something that I'll have him answer. What was Luke's reaction of seeing you in your wedding dress?
Wait, what's the question? To you?
Yeah, but I wanted to know, what was your reaction?
Excited. You're pretty. Pretty beautiful.
Pretty beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Not really beautiful?
No, you were.
Next question is, are you COVID-19 vaccinated? And no, I am not. Next question, how has it been for you being a wife? It's been good. I feel like I've kind of touched on this a little bit before. And like I said in the beginning of this video, me and Luke have been together for almost 12 years now. So honestly, like getting married, other than I guess our titles for each other changing and my last name changing, nothing else has really changed. So yeah, it was just like such a crazy feeling and experience, like getting married. Like for the longest time, I didn't like feel married because like nothing really changed. Like we were already living together, and yeah, we've just been together for so long. But yeah, it's been going good, but like it hasn't really changed all that much, which I'm totally fine with. Next question is about my job, and this person asked, what do you enjoy the most about your job? So kind of a little backstory on my job. I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for almost 3 years now, and I originally started out my career in mental health. I was working in an inpatient mental health hospital. I worked there for about 1.5 years, and then I went into home hospice care. I worked there for about 6 or 7 months, and then I started working at the job that I'm at now, which is as a cosmetic or an aesthetic nurse. And what I love or enjoy the most about my job is just it's just fun, like compared to all of the other like fields in nursing right now and compared to working in the hospital, especially everything going on right now with COVID. And I couldn't imagine working in the hospitals right now. And honestly, I kind of knew all throughout nursing school, like I just kind of thought like nursing in a way wasn't really for me, or I knew like I just never wanted to work in like the hospital setting. I always wanted to do something different, or at least like outpatient, just something more unique with my nursing license and career that I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about. And so when I first came about hearing about like cosmetic or aesthetic nursing, I didn't even know for the longest time that like nurses could go into that field. I mean, I definitely heard of like, you know, nurses in the OR and maybe working in plastic surgery, which that was something that always interested me. But unfortunately, I was never able to get like experience in or hired at any place that was that specific job position. But yeah, as far as like injections and other like cosmetics treatments, I just had no idea that that was something like as a nurse you could do. And so when I found my job currently, I was super excited, super nervous. I wanted it so bad. And thankfully I was able to get an interview and then eventually get hired. So I have been at this job for I think about 7 months now. And yeah, I just love how fun it is. It's something that isn't as like serious, like it's not a job where like you go to work and you have to keep people alive type of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot more fun. I just really enjoy it. Even in this field, it's something like so specific and unique, and I still learn new things, I feel like, every single day. And yeah, I love the people I work with, and I'm just so happy now where I'm at. So next question is, would you ever upgrade to the new iPhone? I liked this question because it was like so random and unique, so I just had to throw it in there. And I definitely would. I want the new iPhone so bad, and like I honestly keep praying that my phone now will just break so I have a reason to buy it. But yeah, the reason why I haven't upgraded is because I really don't need it, but I really want it. Next question is Monet still in your life, or do you have any thoughts on that topic that you're willing to share? It is still in my life. If you guys didn't know, I was a part of an online company, an MLM pyramid scheme, a lot of people like to call it. Yeah, I am still a part of them. I started with them back in, gosh, I think October of 2018, somewhere around there. And yeah, when I first started, I was a lot better about like posting about it on social media and trying to get business partners and customers and things like that. I no longer do that anymore. Even though I'm still a part of it, I'm still a part of the business. So of course, if you ever wanted to join the business, or if you ever wanted to like buy any of their products, you definitely can do that through me. So I am still like an existing partner with them. And I guess I should probably explain that. Like, they are an online company that sells hair care, and when I first started with them, they just had hair care, but now they also have other things like dietary supplements and skin care, body care, things like that. Even though I'm not as active on social media and I'm not like actively searching out business partners and customers anymore, I am still a part of it, mainly because I mean I do have customers underneath me, so I didn't want to get rid of my partnership with them and then have those customers be like SOL basically. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to stay active as a partner with them. But also another huge reason is I love their products. I don't care, you can have your own opinion on the whole MLM thing. You can call them a pyramid scheme, you know, that's your opinion. I disagree. I don't think Monet is a part of that, because I have seen with my own eyes of people that I have worked with in this business that have made way more money compared to the people above them, you could say, that brought them into this business, which kind of goes against the whole definition of a pyramid scheme. And of course, when you Google them, I feel like you see all of these different like lawsuits and negative reviews on the products, like their hair care products making hair fall out and this and that. I've never experienced that. I love the products, which is again another huge reason why I'm still a part of the business, is I use their products every single day, and I feel like it really is making my hair healthier. I feel like recently I have finally noticed that my hair is growing more, and I feel like it's because of those products. So I really like their products. The main reason why I kind of stopped posting about the business on my social media, the reason why I never really moved up in the company, is because I feel like it's a lot harder than you think it is. And I think it's a lot harder than even people above me that brought me onto this business. I feel like it's a lot harder than they even tell you it's going to be. And I just was not successful at it. I tried posting on social media, I tried reaching out to people, and I just didn't go anywhere. Honestly, a part of me wishes I would have gone back and would have done things differently, potentially not listening to the people that were above me that kind of brought me onto this business. Not the person like directly above me, like the person that like I signed up underneath. It was a girl that I went to college with. She was super nice and helpful, so not necessarily her. She didn't give me a negative experience at all, but I feel like it was the people up even above her that kind of turned me off to the whole thing, and I honestly feel like maybe turned me in the wrong direction. I started talking to the people like directly above the partner that brought me on, is because I was having like just so many issues of getting like customers and business partners, and like I just couldn't make a sale to save my life. So I started talking with the people even above her to see if I could get more help from them. And I don't want to say they give you a script per se on how to talk to people, but I feel like in a way they did. Like they were like telling me how to talk to people, like you need to say this and this is how you're going to make a sale. And so that's how I would talk. But I think that's where I went wrong, because the way they told me to talk is not how I talk, if that makes any sense. So I feel like even these people that I was reaching out to that didn't really know me, I feel like they could still sense that this whole spiel I gave on the business and the products like weren't really genuine, because they weren't in like my own words and they weren't how I talk. So I do wish I could be able to go back and maybe not listen to the partners above me and just kind of run with it on my own. But yeah, also another reason I feel like I just wasn't very successful is because the partners that I was talking to that were above me, they had a very, not that they were necessarily rude, but they had a very like tough love attitude, and I'm someone that just doesn't respond to that. Like it was just really disheartening that I just felt like I was very unsuccessful, and I was just getting really down on myself, because I feel like anything that I have tried to do over social media has failed. For example, my YouTube channel, even though I still do it, I love it, I don't do it for the money, but I would consider my channel a failure in a way, because I've gained my subscribers and it's kind of stayed at that same number. Like I'm not really moving up in that direction, if that makes any sense. I had my Etsy shop, which I absolutely loved, and still to this day I think about it and it just breaks my heart, because I loved my Etsy shop. I was making custom phone cases for people and that was a flop. So yeah, I just was getting really down on myself, because I just feel like everything I tried to do over social media just wasn't working. And yeah, and then I would reach out to these partners to get some help from them, and I was just already feeling like so down on myself, and I just wanted someone in a way to give me a little bit of a pep talk, but also kind of reassure me like it's okay, like you're trying your best. You know, I respond to things more like that. But with these people, they were very tough on me, and they would always come down on me, and they would always call me out, like in our group chats, to like, hey Brooke, like did you make any sale? Or hey Brooke, like what about that one girl we were talking to, like how did that end up? And if I didn't make a sale, they would, you know, laugh at me, like do LOL. That was their only response to me, and I'm just like, okay, why is my failure so funny to you? And just kind of other things like that. I just didn't like how they responded to me. They honestly made me feel worse about the situation. And then lastly, kind of after all that, I decided to take a little bit of like a social media break when it came to the business. Like I stopped talking to people about it. I stopped posting on social media about it. And the next thing I knew, I got deleted off of all of our Monet group chats that these like partners like above me were running. They kicked me off all of them, and I was basically told that I don't take this seriously, and because I don't take this seriously and I'm not putting in the hours and hours and hours of work like these other people are, I didn't deserve their time of coaching and helping me grow my business. And yeah, basically after that happened, I was just done with it. So yeah, that's basically the whole spiel on Monet. But definitely the products themselves, love them so much, definitely recommend them. Alrighty, and then this question I decided to throw in here, and it was, what made you want to become a nurse? I feel like I got a few different questions like this, so I decided to just throw this one in here to let you guys know. I did do like a whole video as far as my experience in nursing school, wanting to become a nurse, kind of going through the whole process after graduation with the NCLEX and all that sort of stuff. It is a very long video, I will warn you guys, so make sure to grab a drink and a snack before you begin watching it. But it basically is a very long video that has all of the different information all in one. So I will link that for you guys, so make sure to go ahead and check that out if you're a nursing student yourself, or if you're interested in nursing. And I answer a ton of questions in that video and give more information on that. Okay, so I think those were all of the questions in my Instagram story. So I'm just gonna quickly check everything else and see if there's anything that I missed. Okay, a couple questions from my Facebook page. This one is, what is one thing that you come over this year and you're proud of yourself for it? I feel like a part of it is, I mean, I guess it broadly is in a way putting myself first, but more specifically in my job and career. I kind of already went through earlier in this video with one of the other questions, the few different places I worked at as a nurse after I graduated, and it was a very hard time for me jumping from those jobs. For a while I was just super unhappy and just wasn't sure what I wanted to do in my life, and like I said, even going through nursing school, it was just an ongoing self-esteem thing for me. Like, I just didn't feel like I would have made a good nurse, or I'm smart enough to be a nurse. And so after graduation and going through the few different jobs that I had, it was just very hard for me in that way. But I feel like even in my positions themselves, there was a really long span of time where I was just so unhappy with my job, and I felt really guilty jumping from, you know, job to job for a while. And I don't even know why I felt guilty, because there's so many people out there that literally will like work at one place for a week, move on to the next one, work there for a couple weeks, move on to the next one. And like, I didn't do that. Like I said, at my first job, I was there for a year and a half. And then my second one, I was there for like 6 or 7 months. But I still felt just so guilty just because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just feel like I was jumping into these jobs because I needed a job, and I was just feeling so lost and so unhappy. But yeah, I'm just very happy in myself that I pushed all of those negative, guilty thoughts out of my mind and just applied for the jobs and went for the jobs that I wanted. A lot of them I obviously didn't get. A lot of them I didn't even get called back for even an interview for, which was hard, but I still kept trying, and now I'm in a job that I genuinely love, and it's something that I didn't even know was a possibility, but also something I always wanted to do. So I guess kind of putting myself first when it comes to my job and not settling in that way is something I'm very proud of, because I'm kind of someone, because I'm so shy and anxious, I will just sit in one place, be a good little girl, a good little worker, and just kind of make everyone else around me happy. But this was something that I kind of took the reins on, did what I wanted to do, and it definitely turned out in the end for the better. Next question is uncommon baby names or unique baby names. I feel like I have a few picked out if we were ever to have babies. A lot of them are Disney names. Obviously, I would love to name my children like after Disney characters. But other than that, I can't really think of any other like unique names that I like. I mean, I guess just kind of a couple that I have just loved over the years. I don't really know how unique they are, but I always liked the name Luther. I love Luca. I got that idea from Hilary Duff like right after she gave birth to her first son, however many years ago that was. So yeah, I like those names. Something else I kind of thought about is after my dad passed away, my dad's middle name was Hugo, and I'm someone that just like really likes unique names, so I always thought like maybe if we ever have a son, I could somehow name him after my dad. My dad's first name is Douglas, which I like his name, but like I just can't imagine like naming a baby Douglas or Doug. So I always thought like maybe if we had a son, I could just name him after my dad, but in a more unique way, and give his, you know, his first name as his middle name, Hugo. Yeah, I think that's about it. Another name I always loved, like this was probably the name that I have loved even as like a little child, was Tommy. Oh my gosh, that name to me is the cutest name, but I would probably never use it because I'm sure a lot of people would call my son Tom, and like Tom is disgusting. No offense if your name's Tom, but like Tommy, I love Tommy. Next question is, do you see yourself going back to school to become an NP or more? Probably not. Honestly, as I was going through school, I thought about if I wanted to keep going and go for my master's, but then I graduated, I made it through nursing school, and I just so desperately wanted a break from school, so I definitely had no plans of going back anytime soon. Maybe in the future, but not anytime soon. So yeah, that was a few years ago now that I graduated, and I'm still kind of on the same page. I just can't see myself going back to school. I think about it every now and then because I do love learning, but as of right now, I would say probably not. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. Next question, do you and the hubby do date nights or have a special thing you do together? Yeah, I feel like we don't, I guess this is kind of something we're bad at, is like making like dedicated date nights for the both of us. I mean, we definitely like just kind of hanging out at home. Like there's like certain shows that we'll watch together, and usually we'll try to like, you know, put a movie on at night, you know, during the week. So we kind of spend a little bit of time together before, you know, we go to bed and wake up for another work day. So just kind of little things like that. We do like going out to, like, we have like our one restaurant that like we go to pretty much weekly. A lot of the times we'll go with like friends or family, which is something that we really like to do. So I feel like we could probably be a little bit better about doing things like just the two of us. So I apologize if you guys out there are looking for advice on that, because I feel like we're just really not good at it. But yeah, just kind of little things. And honestly, I feel like it's those little things that are the most important. It's not always about, you know, going out to a fancy restaurant or going on vacation somewhere. It's just kind of little things from day to day that you do together that I think matter the most. Favorite Blockbuster or movie theater memory? Oh my gosh, throwing it back. I feel like I had to think about this one. I couldn't think of anything like right off the bat. But one of the first memories that came to mind, and I don't know, it's so strange how this is like one of my favorite memories because it wasn't anything like special, but I just remember when the Polar Express first came out, like the cartoon one with Tom Hanks. Gosh, I don't even remember what year that was, but anyways, when it first came out, me, my sister, and my dad went to go see it in theaters, and I don't know why, but that's just like one of those memories that just really stands out to me, and when I think about it, it just makes me like, I don't know, like all warm inside, because it was just a movie that like not only were me and my sister excited to see, but even my dad was. And so yeah, we made a whole plan, like we were gonna go see it in theaters, and we did. And yeah, I don't know, it was just one of those memories that just puts a smile on my face and just reminds me of my dad. And it was just such a good a day. Nothing special, but it was just one of my favorite memories. All right, so yeah, that is it for this Q&A. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you asked me a question and I did not answer it, like I said, it's more than likely in one of my other Q&As that I have on my channel, so make sure to check down in the description box. I will link all of my Q&As down there, as well as other videos that were mentioned in this video, so you can go ahead and check those out as well. If you are not already following me on my other social media pages, those, of course, under all of my videos, I have all of those linked down there as well, so go ahead and give me a like and follow on those. And yeah, I'm gonna get going for now, but I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, everyone!